Hi, I'm Matt with Main Street Medina, and welcome to another edition of Medina Minute. Today we're going to sit down with a couple friends and familiar faces from around the city of Medina and learn a little bit more about them and what makes Medina, Medina. Well, welcome back to another edition of Medina Minute. We're here with Michelle Masica from Sperry Commercial. Michelle, thanks so much for sitting down with me today.
Thank you.
First question, how did you end up in Medina, Ohio?
My father was transferred
Okay.
in 75, 76, so I moved here when I was 13.
Oh, wow, okay.
From Texas.
From Texas?
Yes.
What did your father do?
He was in sales.
Okay.
And so got a position with a company out of Cleveland.
Yeah.
And of course my grandparents warned us that Cleveland, there's no trees and it's all concrete and it's just going to be awful. And so my parents came up looking at houses, and they
in the 70s that may have been true.
It could have been, yes. It was probably
right.
not, Cleveland was not looking like it does now.
Right,
But,
right.
they started looking at houses around the Cleveland area and just not finding what they wanted. And so one Saturday they took the rental car and just headed down 42 and happened on the square. And my mom said, this is where we're moving. So she came home and she was so excited. And I was a big reader, so I loved books about Victorian and all this. And so she couldn't wait to show the square to me. So when we came, and it was just such a special place, and it's still, even now I work, my office overlooks the square. Mm-hmm. Every time I look at the square, I just get that same feeling when I was 13 and we pulled up the first time, and it was like this, movie.
Yeah.
So that's what brought me to Medina.
That's so funny. I think to put it in perspective, when you start to say, so we got in the car and headed down, and my intuition is down 71.
Right.
I don't even know if 71 was constructed in the 1970s.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it would have been 42
Yeah.
and country roads.
Yes.
And at that time, we were a small town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, it's much different than it was then.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. So the family moved here. Mm-hmm. You grew up here. You went to school here?
I did. I graduated from Medina High School, and my mom was a teacher here. So.
Did you know, or did you think you would always stay here? Did you have big aspirations to
I always
tour the world?
I always wanted to live in New York City. I love New York City.
Really?
Yes.
What did you want to do there?
I did not know, but I just wanted to live in the city.
Didn't matter.
I didn't matter. We would visit there, and I still get up every Thanksgiving and watch Macy's. My dad took me there.
Oh, really?
Yes, we saw. It's much better on TV than it is in person, but I don't know. I just loved the feeling of the city, and then probably a few months before I was going to head out that way, I happened to be at Main Street Cafe having a drink after work with a friend, and I was sitting next to a gentleman, and then 30 years later we're married. So he kept me here.
It's his fault.
It is his fault, but I'm happy.
Good. I'm glad.
So.
What do you? I'm just curious. What do you think you would have done?
I don't know. I was going to school.
Stage career, sales, fashion.
I have no idea. I was going to school with marketing and public relations, so I didn't really care. I just wanted to, at least for a little bit of my life, just live in that big city, and so. But now that I'm here,
and
it's
the man
nice.
kept you home.
He did. He kept me here. So
typical. Now, do you get to go to the city once in a while? Do you guys visit?
We're actually going. Steve's never been to New York,
really?
So we're going in September. We have a conference there, so it's his first trip. So I'm excited to take him around. But we do love to go to Chicago. We love in Cleveland. Our youngest daughter lives in the Terminal Towers, so we spend a lot of time downtown Cleveland, and so I love that city feel. But it's nice to.
But this is home.
Yeah.
What is it? So when you go to the city, are you guys hitting museums? Are you going out to dinner, going to shows?
I'm a foodie. Well, I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
So we love to try different restaurants. And then I do love the theater. So I have season tickets with my girls. So I'm very excited for Playhouse Square to pick back up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's you're a foodie. Do you have a favorite type of food or ethnicity of food, or just?
I just love to try different restaurants. I love some of the local chefs in the Cleveland area and even around Medina and all over Northeast Ohio. So I just love to try different things.
Okay.
Yeah, I love to cook.
What's the strangest thing you've ever tried?
Ooh.
Or what's something that you've tried that maybe you won't try again, but you at least tried
I'm not into gamey food. Like,
Okay.
even lamb, I'll eat some lamb, but I'm not
Yeah.
into, I've been to some of those game dinners and any,
My dad goes to those. I'm
Yeah.
like, Dad, you don't even know what's on the plate. I mean, it's muscat and
no,
all
that's
this other
tough.
stuff. Okay.
I love to see them walking through the parks, but I don't want to eat them.
So are you a cook as well?
Yes, I love to cook.
Yeah?
Yes.
What's your specialty?
Well, Southern, I grew up in the South. My whole family's in the South, so I have
Yeah.
a lot of Southern specialties. I love to cook Italian. We do a lot of seafood. I mean, again, I try it all.
Yeah, very
I
cool.
enjoy cooking.
And
It's my stress relief.
Nice.
So
And Steve is down with that too? Or is
He loves to
just
eat.
pretty much okay, there you go.
so
As long as there's food on the table.
yes.
That's
I'm very lucky.
hysterical.
He's not picky, so
Yeah.
he doesn't really care as long as it's hot and he's good. So he'll try anything, and I've tried a lot of things. So
Have you guys ever thought about doing like a food tour, like going to Italy or going to Greece?
So we
going to
were
Mediterranean?
scheduled to go. March was our 30th wedding anniversary, and
Okay,
so we were
congratulations.
planning. That was our big trip. Was this last March? So that didn't
Yeah.
happen. I would love to do a food tour at Italy. I'd love to go to Greece and do the same thing. When we do go to cities, like I've been to the one in New Orleans, they call it a taste bud tour where you
Okay.
walk
Oh, that's a
through
cool idea.
and you try maybe 8 or 10 different restaurants. They give you little sample sizes and they tell
Yeah.
the history. That's what I love, the history of the food, of how did it develop. And I know there's one in Chicago, and so yes, I love to do those kinds
That's
of
a
things.
really neat idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So obviously you love history as well.
Mm-hmm.
You love to read. What type of books do you read?
I love biographies.
Okay.
I read a lot of biographies, and I read a lot of business books, especially about entrepreneurs. I'm very interested in entrepreneurs and how people build businesses and how they create businesses. So that's
Yeah.
my stack on my desk right now is about 6 books. So
Really? And you
yes.
do them, just go back and forth?
No, I can only read one at a time.
Okay.
But
Whose biography was most interesting to you, or whose was maybe most surprising that you didn't know about that person?
oh gosh, I'm trying to think. I've really read a lot lately. I've been reading a lot on Anthony Bourdain, again, a chef. I
Sure,
think he's
sure.
got an interesting background. Oh gosh.
And he passed away a year or two ago, didn't
Yeah,
he?
it's been about 3 years, and there's
Okay.
a new documentary that's coming at. They're going to play it at the Nightlife Theater or Nightline in Akron. It's a small
Okay.
indie theater,
Very
so
cool.
we're going to go see that next weekend. But trying to think of who else. I've read so many. That's the problem.
Do you read more, like, I love to read the backgrounds of different actors and actresses, because
Yes.
what you see on stage is usually totally different
Exactly,
than their
exactly.
life. I'm always fascinated by that. Do you focus more on foodies or business people or politicians or just whoever
A
sounds
little bit
interesting?
interesting. Yeah, I just checked out a book because I still have my Franklin Sylvester Library book card, but I
Nice.
just picked out one someone told me about, and I've never been a huge Joan Rivers fan, but I've heard
Okay.
her biography. It's called Enter Talking. It's supposed to be really fabulous and has some different insight that you probably wouldn't.
Okay.
So I just we're going on a trip this weekend to a cabin, and there's no internet or phone service, so I have my stack of books. I'm so excited. So that's one of them I'm reading this weekend is
Yeah.
Joan Rivers. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm really interested in anyone. I think I find people very fascinating, so I love to learn, and I think you can learn so much about not only just cultures, but just people in general, and you know, even people that you don't think you would have anything in common with. Even throughout history, you see commonalities that you wouldn't think. So
Yeah. So you and your husband have a very busy business.
yes,
You're
yes.
in,
Commercial real estate.
okay, very cool.
Yes.
I mean, that can be very intense and a lot going on. How do you just check out? Do you just like literally close everything else and Steve, we're going to the cabin?
We don't check out a lot, so that's why we're excited
Yeah,
about this
yeah.
weekend. In our business, it's not as commercial real estate tends to be more 9 to 5, where residential
Okay.
is more 24/7.
Yeah.
But if we're in the middle of a deal or something that we have to get done, obviously we're always answering emails.
Sure.
We try to stop on the weekends and that. But if something comes up, then
Got to deal with
you
it.
got it. And especially
Yeah.
when we're the business owners and I'm the broker, so I've always have to stay and making sure I
Okay.
know what's going on. And
Yeah. How did
Yeah.
you guys get into that?
Well, Steve. When I married Steve, he had a custom construction company.
Oh,
He
wow,
built
okay.
high-end homes, so he built a lot of the homes in the reserve. He's built about 350 homes in his
Really?
life. So he built in the reserve and in the timbers and all over Northeast Ohio.
Okay,
So from that, he got into, developing land and different things. And we owned a residential company in Wadsworth. It's MSL Realty. It's still there.
Okay.
We sold that to our broker, and then I got out of real estate for a little bit, and then decided to get back in about 10 years ago into the commercial field.
All right, nice.
I think it really pairs well with my love of small business and working with entrepreneurs and real estate. So we also own real estate, so that helps.
Okay.
But we just got into it and got into the commercial field, really enjoy it. Our daughter is also a partner with us, our oldest daughter, so there's 3 of us. And it just works for us, and we really enjoy it. So.
Nice. You had mentioned earlier that you love Medina for the old houses and the history. Is there a certain style of old house that you like? Like being from the South, do you like the big houses and the white columns? You're more a Victorian kind of a girl?
Oh, I love houses with character. I wish people would build more houses with character.
Talk to your husband.
I know. Well, you should see my house. He did. In fact, a lot of times people see our house. It's only about 10 years old, but they say, "Oh, I love how you restored this home," because we put a lot of that character into it. I love a big front porch. I think whether it's brick or whatever, I think a front porch. I don't know, there's so many houses, especially up and down South Court, just,
Sure.
And seeing them change over the years, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Queen Anne, I like I don't know, I like it Italianate, I love them all. I just think, I just hate to see when they're just sitting there and not being, I want to save them all, but I can't. So.
Go for it. Do you have a favorite building on the square?
Oh gosh.
Or 3 favorite buildings? I won't make you choose.
Okay. Well, this building, I grew up shopping in this section right here.
Okay.
When it was Ziegler's, and I worked at O Phoenix. I think everybody's worked at O Phoenix in Medina County. During my college years, on my summer breaks and Christmas breaks, I worked at the trust department. So that building has a lot.
Yeah.
But I would have to say the building that 17 Public is in, because I met Steve there.
Sure.
So,
Very
and
cool.
then a few years later, he took my dad out to lunch to ask for my hand in marriage. So Main Street always had a
Nice.
special place in our heart, and still does. So
Nice.
yes.
What are, in your years in town, what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen?
Just
Is it still that small town that you moved to and you love?
See, I still feel that.
Okay.
I do. Even though you go to both ends of town and it's, been so sprawling and all the, I guess that's necessary to bring the things in. But I still, when I'm on the square, I still feel that's, we used to walk. We didn't live too far from here. And so my brother and I would walk to Happy Days and get sundaes and to Rite Aid.
What was Happy Days?
Happy Days was an ice cream parlor, like a 50s ice cream
cool.
parlor. It was, what building? I don't think it was the building that Chill was in, but maybe
I've
it's
never
right.
heard of that
Yes,
one.
Happy
Okay.
Days, and then Rite Aid on the corner. We would get scented stickers, and so I still feel when I come to the square. I still feel that we would walk up to the Friday night band concerts, and so I think this area feels like the small town, and then you get too far up north and get in the traffic, and then but
Then it's totally different.
exactly. Not that there's there's a place for everyone, but
When you guys have guests coming into town or family visiting, what's kind of your hit list of, we got to go here, we got to see this, we got to eat here? What's your quintessential visit to Medina?
Oh gosh.
If you were writing with your marketing background, if you were
Yes.
writing the travel brochure
Medina?
for Medina,
Well, I have to tell, this is a little bit different, but when we first moved to Medina, the first place we took everyone was the beverage drive-through on Lafayette, because we didn't have those in the South, and my family thought it was the most wonderful thing ever. So that would be the first.
That's funny.
Yes, everybody, we had to take them through the drive-through and get a Diet Coke or something. I love, some of the restaurants. We love to go to Time, and now, what's happened at Farmers Exchange is just really a cool thing.
Yeah.
Always come to the square and sit at the gazebo. The parks, Steve and I are big, friends of the parks. We love the Park District.
Nice.
Trying to think of what else.
Do you have a favorite store that you like to go to, or a favorite? A lot of people go to Time. Like,
Yes.
what's your favorite thing on the menu? Or is it? Well, they change it seasonally, I guess.
Well, they had, again, it's the other girl. About 3 years ago, they had a chicken fried steak. I know it's so bad, but a chicken fried steak salad with fried green
wow.
tomatoes on it. He did it one summer, and it had cornbread croutons. So as a Southern
Okay.
girl, that was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I love his Cobb salad. At dinner, it just depends on what's,
What's on the
yeah,
menu,
I
what's in the
tend to
mood.
go towards seafood more, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
Are you a root candle shopper?
Oh, yes.
What's your favorite scent?
Oh, well, I love peppermint, and because I don't know if my birthday's in December, close to Christmas, so I always have this love of peppermint. I don't know if that's why, but so anything with peppermint
Okay.
I love. So I love their seasonal in the summer, or the Christmas flavors come out in the peppermint ones.
Yeah. I get the feeling that I think you're a very romantic, sentimental type of
Yes,
person.
yes.
Tell me how you feel about the holidays in Medina and Candlelight Walk and the gazebo decorated. What is that to you?
It's just it's just like a Hallmark Christmas card. And it's fun now that I'm a grandmother. So
Okay.
this Christmas we'll get to share with our granddaughter. So it's just,
Nice.
it's just undescribable. It's just Christmas.
Yeah.
You know.
So you're going to take the granddaughter to see Santa Claus?
Oh.
Sit on
what
Santa's lap, see what happens?
Well, she'll be 18, almost 2, so we'll see how she feels about that. But just to walk around, we just the lights and the people and everybody's excited and
Yeah. What do you see for the future of Medina? If there's one thing that you could add or change or bring to town, what would that be?
Oh gosh.
Or is it perfect just the way it is?
Other than, and I hate to say this, other than the traffic on the square, because I have some great windows in my office I can't open because it's so loud. But
Right.
no, oh gosh. I'd love to see some diversity of shops. I think we have some great gift shops, but maybe something a little different. I don't know what that is, but maybe
Yeah.
some different things. I think the breweries have been fun to add.
Those have been huge.
Yeah.
Those have been really fun.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's been a fun thing to add. But yeah, maybe I'd love to see a hotel, like a
Yes.
little boutique hotel. I think would be
agree.
great
That
on the
would.
square.
Well, there you go.
There
That's a
I'm-
challenge and a
I
goal
might be
for you
working
and
on
Steve.
that, so
All
we'll
right,
see.
Fair enough. Well, beautiful. Michelle, thank you so much for sitting down with
Absolutely.
me and sharing some of your history and remembrances of the square.
Yes,
And we'll see what happens.
that sounds great.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.